Hi guys, so this is module 22 on hypnosis and consciousness. So historically, psychology was believed to be the description and explanation of state and consciousness, and this was in the 1900s. And later, when psychologists started to fall more towards behaviorism in the 1960s, psychology started to stream away from consciousness and develop and focus more on the behaviorism side. And it was later believed that consciousness was more similar to a speedometer of a car. And the quote is, "It doesn't make the car go, it just reflects what's happening." And this is saying that consciousness isn't what makes you do things, it's just the act of you doing things, I guess. And as neuroscience advanced and related brain activity to sleeping, dreaming, and other mental states, psychologists recognized the importance of cognition, which led to a gain in conscious studies and how it can be altered by hypnosis and drugs. So today, consciousness is defined as our awareness of ourselves and of our environment. So consciousness is a part of our dual-track mind, which is the conscious and the unconscious. And a part of the conscious is selective attention, which we learned in a past module. And this is a concept in which we can only focus on one thing at a time, even if there's a lot of other things going on around us. We can only focus on one particular thing. So your consciousness is highlighted when we're learning new concepts or behaviors. And a good example of this is learning to ride a bike. Because when you first learn to ride a bike, you're really thinking about staying on the bike and not falling off by shifting your balance, turning the wheels, and using the brakes. But as you do it, more and more it becomes second nature and turns into a semi-automatic task. And when this happens, you can kind of worry about other things instead of not trying to fall off the bike, and you can avoid obstacles easier and look at the view around you. And once it becomes a semi-automatic task, you can develop a continuous stream of consciousness, which each moment flows to the next. So when you first start learning, you're going to be thinking about one task, then the next, which is kind of abrupt. But once it's semi-automatic, each thought will just flow naturally. Next, we have hypnosis, and I think we've all probably seen a TV show where somebody's hypnotized by someone else who's like holding a watch or something, and they get them to do things just by saying them. And this is actually part of consciousness because it's almost like a dissociation thing. And hypnosis is a social interaction in which one person, the subject, responds to another person. The hypnotist suggestions that certain perceptions, feelings, thoughts, or behaviors will spontaneously occur. So with hypnosis, the point of it usually is to get somebody to do something, which could just be a fun thing, and some people actually do it for certain symptoms. So post-hypnotic suggestions is a suggestion made during a hypnosis session to be carried out after the subject is no longer hypnotized, used by some clinicians to help control undesired symptoms and behaviors. So during the session, the person that's hypnotizing somebody else might tell them something that's going to help them not be so stressed out, or get rid of their headaches, or reduce their asthma symptoms, and even stress-related skin disorders. So when I first saw that I was assigned consciousness and hypnosis, I really believed that being hypnotized was fake, but as I read the book and I realized that it's not. It's just dependent on your willingness and your openness to being hypnotized. So if you're willing to be hypnotized, you can kind of be put in a dissociative state, and this is split in consciousness, which allows some thoughts and behaviors to occur simultaneously with others. So while you're being hypnotized, you may be told to that they'll give you a suggestion that there's a chair right in front of you, and there will be a chair right in front of you, but then they'll say there isn't a chair right in front of you, and you'll really truly believe that there isn't a chair right in front of you. But when they tell you to get up and walk in a straight line, and if the chair's blocking your path, you'll still walk around it even though you didn't think that there was a chair in front of you, because you unconsciously know that there's a chair in front of you, but because you're in the hypnotic state, you don't believe there is. So yeah, that is my video. Hope you enjoyed.